What really obvious thing have you only just realized? I recently realized I was allergic to carrots. I just thought they made everyone's mouth numb, you know, just like almonds. I also learned recently that I have an almond allergy. Same here. Thought that raw hazelnuts don't taste good because they give this weird tingle in your mouth. Found out I had a nut allergy when it suddenly turned from tingle to anaphylaxis, and I ended up in hospital for eating nut chocolate. Nothing like losing your ability to breathe. On the plus side, I've had to use EP 3 times in my life and it works phenomenally. Nut allergy pro tip: watch out for the pits of certain fruits. I drank some mango juice once and went full anaphylaxis. Turns out the seed is just like a cashew. Super embarrassing, but in college I would order Roman Cokes because I heard everyone else ordering the same. Turns out I misheard everyone and found out it was just rum and coke. A Roman Coke does sound like a great drink though. Mix equal parts rum and cola. Pour over ice and serve. The first time I visited the USA I was on my own and in New York and going to all the museums. I kept seeing signs that said no strollers and thought, because we call strollers prams in the UK, that you guys are super strict about the proper amount of attention required to visit a museum. I actually pretended to show more interest than I had and ought not to be, though I was some deadbeat out for a casual stroll. It wasn't until about day 3 that I saw a no strollers sign that included a graphic for idiots. I'm a Brit who got sucked into a holiday job doing door-to-door sales for a MLM company in the US. All the doors were signs saying no solicitors. Confused me. As I was neither an attorney or a rent boy, I figured I was in the clear. Fortunately, the local police took an afternoon out of my day to explain. Since you just brought it up, I went years after seeing the movie Trainspotting, thinking rent boy was just a cute folksy Scottish nickname for a guy whose name is Renton. Wasn't till I read the book and he mentions being offended by the sobriquet that I bothered to look it up. Not a term one will hear in America, that's for sure. This girl I know has a dog named Deirdre. 2 years into knowing her and being around Deirdre, I was having a conversation with her sister-in-law and I said I love the name Deirdre. How did she come up with that? Her sister-in-law responds, Deirdre, and I said yay, it's a neat name. She started laughing and said no, D-O-G. The way you spell dog. I'm still mind blown about this lol. I knew someone whose dog was named S-P-O-T. 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 Growing up we had a friend that named his pet parakeet Woofer, as in opposite of Twitter. Must have been a stereo freak. When I was a kid my mom told me my rabbit Rosie went to live on a farm. In my early 20s I saw an episode of The Sopranos where everyone makes fun of Tony when he realizes his dog didn't really go to live on a farm. That's when I realized Rosie had not gone to a farm either. If it makes you feel any better, I lived on a farm as a kid and took in 2 rabbits. One of my mom's friends was sick of her kids having rabbits, so I got them. They lived a good life. I used to bring them all of the but ends of any vegetables my mom chopped up, and I gave them a lot of ice cubes in the summer. They didn't like to be petted, but they seemed to like it when I read to them. They didn't like to be petted, but they seemed to like it when I read to them. That has to be one of the cutest things I've ever read. For a long time I thought to bust a nut meant that you were going to kick a guy in the balls or beat him up. So anytime I was getting worked up or angry talking about some guy I would say I'm going to bust his bloody nut, not knowing the real meaning. Nobody ever said anything, but it was always followed by my friends laughing, so I assumed it was because I was being dramatic. Years go by and my coworker is telling me about some rude person he met, and I said you should definitely bust that guy's nut, to which he paused and said, do you even know what that means? Suffice it to say I was extremely embarrassed and horrified when he explained it to me. I had a boss that was under the impression that bust a nut meant to work extremely hard. Suffice to say our team meeting ended awkwardly when Sean would tell all of us to go bust a nut after the meeting. Left square bracket question mark right square bracket. English is fun. Busting your ass totally means to work hard. Meanwhile, breaking my balls means what up things. My grandpa used to ask me when I was a kid if I could talk without moving my lips. Being a dumbass kid, I would always give it my best effort and thought I was pretty good at it. 20 years later I realized the old bugger was just telling me to shut the hell up, haha. Too bad I can't let him know I finally figured it out. That they put measurement stickers next to gas station doors so if a robber is running out of the store you can get a better estimate of their height. I always thought they were just there for something fun to do on road trip stops. More than that, they are not actually accurate if you stand against them and measure that way. They are supposed to be placed so the camera will show the correct height of the person, compensating for the angle of the camera. Whoa. Whole new dimension to it now. Till. Not me, but my husband just understood that Q is pronounced Q and not key. His mind was blown. I have to remind myself key is pronounced key, not quay, so this made me do a double take. Slaps face. Good damn it. Not me, but my sister asked me about 2.5 months ago when we were watching John Wick 3 during the desert scene. She asked me if they were real and I asked if what were real and she said sandlands and I busted out laughing so goddamn hard and said, you mean deserts? Yes, they are real. Thinking about it right now got me laughing. I think we should start a petition to change the word to sandlands, though it's pretty good. That parents have children write letters to Santa so they can figure out what to buy them for Christmas. I can't believe how I never put that together after 32 years on this earth. I just thought it was fun little tradition. In Sweden we put those letters in the post box with mail headed to the North Pole. In Canada you also send them in the mail to Santa Claus, North Pole, H0H0H0. Canada Post volunteers stationed at Santa's workshop will mail you back a letter from Old Saint Nick. Our postal codes are letter, number, letter, number, letter, number. Oh, you want a freaking doozy? For years, I did not realize it was Mike Myers playing both Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. I don't know how I missed it, but it never twigged that it was the same actor. Felt like a right royal twat when that was pointed out to me. Thank you for being with me on that. I had seen the movie so many times before knowing he also played Fat Bastard. Are you freaking kidding me? What else have you been hiding? It's called a department store because there are, wait for it, separate departments within the one store. I had a sudden clarity clearance moment with that one recently. I only just realized this when I read this, so thanks for the comment. I'm in my 50s. I grew up in a rural area north of New York City. I'm a veteran. I'm reasonably intelligent, reasonably well traveled. I've been hearing and repeating this expression on and off for all of my life. Friend/acquaintance 1. Hey, man, see you soon. Friend/acquaintance 2. Not if I see you first. Smirk. It's just within the last few years that I realized that's almost always joking. Kind jab at friend/acquaintance 1. It was so ritualized as a way to say goodnight to a buddy that it never occurred to me that it meant that the friend would choose to avoid the other person. I knew a woman who told a story about how she was attending a family gathering, and when her dad arrived she said to him as she walked up to give him a hug, "Hey there, is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" Everybody in the room just looked at her in shock and then burst out laughing. She had heard the expression, but just never thought about what it meant, so she thought it was just a quirky way to say hello lol. I'm going to remember this one. Next time I'm up all night thinking about all the dumb crap I've ever said and done, I'll just go back to this one and remember that it will never be that bad. I didn't know the characters on Family Guy had accents. Live in New England watching with my wife, not from here, and she says wow they really nailed the accents. I say what accents? Blew my mind when she explained not everyone talks like that LMAO. People keep praising the latest Spider-Man for his accurate Queen's accent, but I don't hear it. Bro, same. People can figure out I'm from New York by the way I say water, but it's not like I have a heavy Nye accent with the word ah crap, we just say water instead, and I never realized until someone pointed it out that the Houston Astros name comes from astronauts, and the Baltimore Ravens are because Edgar Allan Poe lived and is buried in Baltimore. Don't forget died with him. It might be a believable rumor otherwise. Today the radio taught me Mariah Carey wrote and sang All I Want for Christmas Is You. All this time I thought it was just a cover that she did so well. People loved it more than the original. Turns out it is the original. Oh dear. This makes me feel old AF because I remember when that song was new. Cruel Devil was a cruel devil. The word for explorer in Spanish is exploradora. Dora the Explorer are Spanish plain words. Who's that super cool exploradora? The villain in Halloween is not played by Michael Myers. Get out of my swamp or I'm gonna murder ya. Do I make you horny baby? Furious stabbing. The only person who didn't think I had a drinking problem was me. A car accident resulting in a DUI and court mandated rehab shined that light on me. Luckily I found out before I killed someone or myself. I've been almost year clean and feel pretty okay. Principal Belding from Saved by the Bell is named Belding. 2 Beldings in one building and one of them's balding. Best line of the show according to younger me. It called Men's Warehouse and not Men's Warehouse. It's been a couple years since I realized this and I just think that's a clever name. What the hell, I just looked it up and I still don't believe you. Saw a place labeled as public house when I moved nearby recently. It was at that moment I realized, oh, that's why they call them pubs. It's short for public house. In Russian phrase public house means a whorehouse, not a pub, I wonder. Personal injury lawyer commercials play more frequently during daytime TV because their clientele is injured, stuck at home, and watching daytime TV. They also can't really afford primetime spots. I always thought you can't have your cake and eat it too was a weird saying because why wouldn't I be able to eat my freaking slice of cake? It's my cake. Nobody was telling me that I can't have my cake. Turns out they mean you can't eat the cake while also still retaining it. Once it is eaten, it is gone. An idiom I did not understand until this year. I'm 27. The Italian version of this is you can't have a full bottle and a wasted wife or something along those lines. This is better. The reason the cord hook on the vacuum spins is so you can take the whole cord off at once instead of unraveling it one loop at a time, like I have been my whole life. And if you wind it up as a figure 8 between the 2 hooks, when you turn the hook down and take off the whole cord, it won't get tangled up as you vacuum. My mom used to make my sisters and I belly buttons for dinner. I was 27 when I realized that they were actually tortellini, but she knew we were dumb kids and would refuse something named so strange, even though they were delicious. I think I would have been more freaked out about eating cooked belly buttons. I realized that to be in one's birthday suit it means to be without clothes. I thought for the longest time it was a specific set of clothes you would wear on your birthday each year. I found out when I asked, what happens when you don't fit in your birthday suit anymore? Lol. Stretch marks happen. My bedroom door was broke, and I finally got around to fixing it. Thought the knob was broke cause it was pushed in towards the door, so I pulled it out, and realized that was how you lock the door. As a small child, like maybe age 4, my family told me the powder room door at my grandparents' house didn't lock. I had a reputation for accidentally locking myself into places, so they didn't want me locking myself in there, I guess. I was 18 before I accidentally locked the door just like that, realized how it worked and emerged from the bathroom mortified and amused that I had gone all those years thinking the door just didn't lock. No one even remembered lying to me about the lack of lock. My boyfriend did not know that his electric toothbrush has a timer on it that goes off at 1 minute and 2 minutes. He actually returned it and got a new one thinking it was broken, since the timer is just a brief sort of pause/reduction in the vibration. He would be like, WTF, I literally just charged this freaking thing thinking that the battery was already dying. One day, and I can't remember exactly what the conversation was, I brought up how I liked that my toothbrush let me know when I had brushed long enough, and it was like a light bulb went off in his head and suddenly he put it together that was what his toothbrush was doing all along. My boyfriend didn't realize the red light on his electrical toothbrush was indicating he was brushing too hard until I mentioned it to him. I learned a few months ago that when people talk about the big fight like Mayweather v McGregor, it is not equivalent to the Super Bowl of MMA/UFC. There are fights all the time and some are just more popular / talked about than others.